Okay, we are live. Yay. So exciting.
Oh, wait, we're live now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Hi,
great.
guys. We'll give
Hi.
it time for people to traipse in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have Lynn on today. I personally have never been more honored. Lynn is like one of my favorite author tubers to watch.
Aww.
So I'm so excited to have her on today.
I'm so excited to be on. I'm also
Love.
going to lower my laptop because my stand is wobbly, so I'm just gonna do that.
You want to give a quick little introduction in case I'm sure everyone
Yeah.
you, but
Oh. Oh, sorry, someone just texted me. I'll get to that in a second. Hi, I'm Lindy Jung. I am also an author tuber over on YouTube. Same name as my channel. My channel is named after me. I write science fiction and fantasy. I'm currently working on a dark academia adult fantasy on the first revision. It is called Project Moths, sort of as a code name. And then I am planning to query it in the hopes of getting traditionally published sometime eventually. Yeah.
I love that. You have such you have your little like intro so down packed. Like it flows so easily.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I was not sure what I was saying there, but thank you very much. I'm glad it flowed.
And if anyone's coming over from Lynn's channel, hello, I'm Brielle. And I'm working on a adult fantasy with some romance vibes. Yeah, and I'm about to start revising, so I'm currently annotating my first draft. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Yay. Hi, Alyssa. I've been watching your content like crazy, and I just need to let you know that. I've been binging all of your videos, so welcome. Oh, so exciting. Yay. I love that. Subscribe to both of us. Incredible.
Aw, thank you.
So we're going to be, at least I'm going to be annotating during this stream. Yeah. And I think, Lynn, are you going to be working on your revisions?
Yes, I'm gonna be working on my chapter 16 revisions, and this has been a brutal one, so hopefully I can get that done. Um, I'm gonna turn off my notifications real quick. I do type kind of aggressively, so if the sound is annoying, I can always mute myself. Just please let me know.
I feel like people love a typing sound though.
I hope so. I personally love it. I'm about to get a mechanical keyboard so I can be even more annoying with it because it sounds like it's very ASMR adjacent.
Yes. Wait, I just ordered a mechanical keyboard like 2 days ago.
Oh my god. Our minds.
Well, seeing like Kelly and Chris with their like and then like zooms in on the
Mhm.
keyboard, I'm like, I
Mhm.
need that immediately.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yes, they were my inspiration.
I love that. Yes. Oh, this is so cute.
Oh, that's
Sorry
really
for being
sweet.
nervous. I just watched your latest video and was crying. Can't wait to hold my book too. Oh, that's so sweet. I hope you get to hold your book soon. Oh, question for you.
Oh, what kind of switches do you have? I don't know. So this is it's going to be sent as part of like a not a PR package, but for review. So they're just kind of sending me a pre-made build, but I'll probably switch out the switches and keycaps if I feel like it.
Oh, I love that. Wait, so did you like sign up to be like one of those reviewers?
I just like cold pitched them, and
Oh,
they were the first people I've cold pitched who were like, "Yeah, sure," and I was like, "Okay, great, thank you."
I love that. Absolutely love that. Also, if you guys want to drop in the comments what you guys are working on during the stream, we would love to hear.
Oh yes, please.
I'm surprised you two knew each other. Well, we've been like commenting back and forth for like a couple of months at this point now.
Mhm.
So we're
Mhm.
like entering into the becoming friends stage.
Yes, which I love.
I know. I'm like so excited about it. Um, Also, you inspired me so much with your latest video. Literally just ordered my book that I'm querying from Barnes & Noble as a reward. Wait, that's so exciting. I love
That's
that for
exciting.
you. Wow, that's so cool. Working on revisions for a novella.
Good, good. I wish you the best.
Yes. What round of revisions are you on? Lynn, do you write novellas?
I haven't written one before, no.
Okay, interesting. I feel like you would be a novella girl.
Oh, really? I really like reading novellas, but I think I'd have to have like the right idea for that length of story, if that makes sense.
No, I totally get that. Yeah. I feel like I can't imagine what type of idea would lend itself to that length for me.
Yeah, right?
But I guess that's just maybe because it's never popped up.
Mhm.
One day it will.
One day, yes.
Yes. Working on character development and outline for your romance novel.
Mm.
Ooh, very exciting.
Wow, this is a very active stream chat. That's fun. It's cool.
It is. We're falling behind. Working on a side project called P Little Witch. Ooh, okay. Wait, that's exciting. Finishing chapter 9. Editing your book. It's the 3rd book you've written, and your video is making me want to print my own book now. I absolutely love that.
You're an inspiration.
Oh, I'm gonna cry. Working on draft 1 of my dual fantasy novel. Ooh.
Mm.
Dual POV, or does that mean something else that I'm unaware of?
I feel like it has to be dual POV.
Okay. Actually doing art stuff. Oh, I love that. Okay. Yes, any activity is welcome this week.
Mm-hmm. Just any productive whatever, or non-productive.
Yes. Hoping to make some movement on Act 1 of my thriller. Been avoiding it the last week. Fair enough. Thrillers are so fun. I think I need to start reading some. Any thriller recommendations, anyone? Let me know. Lynn, any thriller recommendations? I don't know if you're a thriller girl.
I never have. I don't think I've ever read a thriller.
I've literally never read a thriller.
Yeah, I read a lot of like very lately, especially just a lot of high fantasy with really intense world building.
Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, oh, okay. What are both of your favorite things about doing YouTube, writing, and having a writing YouTube channel?
Oh.
Len, you want to go first?
I love the community that YouTube has brought me. Yeah, I just feel like I've never met so many writers and been able to converse with so many writers through like such a small niche that has sort of grown a little bit. Writing itself, I just have always done it. I don't think I'll ever stop. And then, yeah, having a writing YouTube channel, yeah, again, just the community and meeting people like Brielle and connecting with viewers. And I feel like it's a very, like, all things considered, compared to other writing communities I've been a part of, like the Twitter crowd and actually really only that bits I've seen from Reddit. It's so positive and so helpful and kind as opposed to kind of like that competitive negative energy you get from other spaces sometimes. Yeah, so I really like that. And I really like that I've been able to sort of kind of foster that in my own way.
I love that so much. Very similar feelings. I think the community aspect is like one of my favorite things as well. Like being able to interact with you guys on the streams has been so cool. Like hearing about your projects and like anytime someone says that I motivated them to write or work on their book, that's like the cream of the cream to me. Like best comments in the world. And then writing wise, I feel like my favorite part is just like I think the characters element and like getting excited about interactions between my characters, getting attached, all of that has been so fun. So I guess that's my answer.
Yeah, that's great.
Working on the first book in my high fantasy series, but I've tabled it to finish a final paper that I postponed. Oof.
Felt, yeah, real.
Okay. Shall we get into a first sprint?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, amazing. Thank you guys for being so active in the chat. Sorry we can't get to everything. We gotta keep ourselves on track a little bit here. But yeah, good luck with the first sprint. We'll put on a timer.
Yeah, let's go.
Awesome. Wait, I love the typing sound. Perfect.
Please let me know if it's annoying. I can mute myself. I knew it.
Wait, that was everything.
Just dead silence and then
Okay, how did that go for everyone? Lynn, what'd you
That
get
was good. Yeah, I feel I'm just a couple pages into the revisions, but I feel like I'm getting back into it. Like I feel ready to revise.
That's amazing. I love that.
Also, could you guys hear my stomach grumbling? 'Cause
I'm dead. I don't think so.
okay, good. I was like, oh my god, it's so loud.
That's so funny.
I'm probably gonna grab a snack here in a second just to quiet her, but
You absolutely should. I'm dead. I was annotating chapter 7. I was mostly commenting on line level stuff. I'm learning my crotch words very quickly.
mm.
So I
Wait.
started making a little list.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are utterly, which I have no business using so frequently,
Mm-hmm.
painful, and sparking. So we're learning that.
Oh, sparking. Interesting.
Yeah, for eyes. Like that's the only way I know how to describe eyes, apparently.
Oh, I like that description for eyes though. I don't think like that's a unique one, you know.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
like it. I'm like, we just can't use it every time for y'all.
Mm, mhm,
So it's interesting learning these things. And just in general, I was making a lot of comments of like, okay, this is getting like a little convoluted or like redundant words. You know
mhm,
what I mean? Yeah. Yeah.
mhm. Well, you're learning more about yourself and your process, and I feel like that's always productive. Oh my god. Okay, good. I'm glad no one could hear it. It was really gross.
Yeah, but it is cool to be learning more about my process. I'm like,
Mhm.
this is the first time where I feel like I'm starting to understand my writing style and all of its, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
all of its glory.
Mhm. Like anyone, yeah.
Mhm. Almost made it to the end of my chapter, about 500 words. That's so cool.
Nice. That's really good.
Love to hear it. I just got the printed first draft of my novel in the mail, so
Tea. I want one now.
you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Next draft.
347, and I'm writing a science fantasy, which is a genre blend of sci-fi and fantasy together.
Very nice.
That's so fun.
I love science fantasy. I wish we had more of that. Like, I wish it were more mainstream.
Yeah, I don't know if I have heard of any. Are there any that are like well known?
I almost want to say, like, okay, this is without having read it, but it's on my TBR, like N.K. Jemisin's The Broken Earth. Because it's like, futury, but there's also magic. I don't know.
That's
Don't
fun.
quote me on that, but and that's like a big one. I feel like science fantasy is like if it's really good, it's so good. And it's like a surefire award getter because the awards people love the science fantasy girlies.
I love that.
I'm just looking.
213, still working on the fable from last time. I dropped it to work
Hmm.
on another earlier chapter stuff, but picked it back up tonight. I
Mhm.
love that. Looks like it was a productive sprint all around. 500 words to my brain dump. As of now, it's a supernatural mystery romance. Ooh, that's fun. I
That
love
is
that.
fun. What a great combo.
I love a brain dump. That's like one of my favorite
Mhm.
parts of the process.
Mhm. Honestly.
Yup. I also just discovered that there's like a huge world building element that I just simply did not explain prior to this point. There's like this big dramatic moment of them trying to leave the city and like it's really difficult and I never even mentioned that people aren't allowed to leave the city. So there's this big conflict of them at the border and I'm like it literally hasn't been mentioned that you're not allowed to leave the city. Okay.
Well, hey, pretty easy fix. Just like a couple lines or a short scene, and you're done.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. It is fun though. I feel like when you have all the context in your brain, sometimes you just forget that maybe it needs to be mentioned. Like, do you know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like you know the world so well that it's like, oh, they already know that. And you like
Yeah.
realize it's nowhere in the book.
Yes, I feel that. I kept having that with my magic system where I was like, it makes sense. I shouldn't have to explain it more than this. But it's like a relatively novel one where I don't think I've seen anyone do it like that before. And so I keep getting beta reader feedback that's like, I don't understand this. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I can't teach a class.
Yeah, that's such a good point. Because I feel like
Mhm.
we always get scared of like info dumping and all of that as writers.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we veer too far the other direction where there's like no no explanation.
Yeah, that's definitely like an underwriter thing, which I feel like we both are. And
Absolutely. Yes.
I hate having to explain my world building. It's so uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, no, I feel that. And I have a question for you after we look at a couple more of these.
Yeah, for sure.
An example of science fantasy is Dark Tower series and Broken Earth trilogy and Dune. I didn't know about Dune though. Oh, interesting. I didn't know Dune was. I guess there is like
That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I haven't read the books. I've only seen the films, but they're really good films.
Yeah, I just saw the second one, but I still haven't seen the first.
The first one is I fell asleep. But I like the second one a lot, and I like was able to pick up all the context and stuff, so it was fine.
Yeah, I honestly wasn't that lost watching the second one with no context, which I was surprised. Dropping in, currently planning the big problem in my book. My two main characters have to deal with, figure out how to survive this problem. It's so hard. Yeah, that is one of the toughest parts for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question for you, Lynn. So for me, I feel like what I tend to leave out is dialogue and action. LOL. Like, so like I'm curious what often your early drafts are lacking in.
Internal dialogue, not even dialogue, just like any internality.
Really?
And like emotions, yeah. I think because I kind of hear it in my head. So I'm very like dialogue first, and then kind of like external description because I'm hyper aware of that because I don't see images in my brain. So I'm like, okay, I have to describe where they're at. So I'm very conscious about that. But now I'm having to be a little bit more conscious about, just like internal dialogue and emotions. But emotions are so hard to write without being like, she felt angry. Like it's so hard to show not tell emotions that it's exhausting.
Yes. Especially when you are writing like, internal thoughts and feelings. It's like, how do I show this character processing this without like beating the reader over the head?
Yes, exactly. And I find that writing negative emotions is so much easier, and I don't know what that says about me, but like writing a panicked train of thought, that makes a lot more sense. You can convey that much more easily than like a happy train of thought. Like anything happy or positive comes off as insincere when I write it.
No, that makes a ton of sense. I also just like it's easier to get real cheesy real quick with the happier emotions. So
yes, yeah.
How do you describe it without being cliche or like just recycling what you've heard before? I think that's one of the harder parts for me of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. Everything about writing is kind of tough, but it's fun. It's a fun little puzzle.
It's cool that you're like a dialogue first writer. I've noticed like I simply do not have enough dialogue in this book. Like,
interesting.
Which is so odd. It's because I went to film school and I feel like they were always like beating into us like only have dialogue that's absolutely necessary. Like short films, so it was like you have to be so like concise with the dialogue. So I think that permeated my brain, and so now I like have no casual conversation on the page, and I'm like, these characters got to get to know each other a little bit. Like, so I feel like that's one of my weaknesses so far.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, but it's also interesting because you'd think that if you primarily have experience with like screenplays, dialogue would be the thing that you do. That's so funny.
I think I'm also just scared because I feel like dialogue has the most potential to be a line that people who are reading are like, or like takes out. Like, you know what I mean? It feels like there's a lot of weight on it because I know sometimes dialogue takes me out if I'm just like, they would never say that, or like, who would ever say that? Pressure.
I've noticed in like, I read a couple of like romantasy books that were more recent publications, and I was like, the writing, or not the writing, but the way people talk is like too modern. But it's also specifically like Gen Z teenager talk in like a high fantasy world, and I'm like, I don't know if I like that personally. I don't know if that's what I am looking for in that kind of setting. It definitely takes me out.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. Anytime like, this is maybe a hot take, but like anytime like phones or like anything that's very explicitly modern is mentioned in a book, it takes me right out. Like social media, over for me. Like,
social media. Yeah. Wait, even in like a contemporary setting?
Yes, and I don't know why.
Interesting. Oh my god, wait, there's phones in my book.
I feel like it depends how it's used, of course.
Mhm.
But like, I don't know. Like anytime TikTok is mentioned in a book, I'm like, okay, time to wrap
Ooh.
it up. Like,
Oh man, I don't think I've seen TikTok mentioned in a book yet. I've
hmm,
seen references to like very specific things that have happened on writing Twitter before, and I was like,
really?
that's I don't know. I'm just like, is that necessary?
Yeah. I also honestly feel like I'm having a issue with my dialogue being almost too formal. Like
Oh.
kind of the opposite issue of all of that. Like
Mhm.
they just speak with like my main character has no reason to speak like with big words given her
Mhm.
background and stuff, but she just kind of is defaulting that way to sound
Mhm.
I don't know, I guess because in my head I'm like, "Oh, the writing needs to sound pretty, so let's use the nice words."
Yeah, yeah.
But then
I
I'm like,
feel
"This
that, yeah.
doesn't talk like that, really." So
That
something I have
makes
to work
sense. That reminds me of, one of my friends, like, watched, I think, Aquaman and was like, "They never use contractions when they speak." It was like, it took me out so fast.
on. Dead. Wait, that's crazy. Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
So maybe throw in some contractions? I don't know.
When in doubt, throw in a little contraction.
Yeah, just to spice it up. I do that sometimes because the book I'm working on is very, like, dark academia, so it is very, like, formal language and people are behaving in a certain way, but I'm like, "Hold on, someone needs to say, like, 'Oh my god,' or something. Something more casual to remind you that these are, like, 24 or 25-year-olds."
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, maybe we need to throw in a little curse word right here.
Mhm.
Like a little something casual.
Mhm, mhm.
There's a book I bought a long time ago called The Emotion Thesaurus. It basically categorized emotions in physical science, mental science, long-term effect, etc. I've been hearing about this book a lot.
I've heard about that too. It's also a website, but it's kind of paywalled,
Uh,
which I might just make my own. And
yeah, I love that.
yeah.
I've been
Like a
thinking
shorter one, but yeah.
about that book just because I'm very hyper aware of repetitive body language descriptions, and I'm scared of
Mm.
them. So
Mhm. Yeah, it's easy to lean on the same things because I feel like I know my ticks, but maybe I should observe other people more and get to know their stuff.
no, I totally feel the same way.
Mhm.
I make my
Oh,
friends read the dialogue out loud with me to make sure it sounds normal. Needless to say, they think I'm insane.
no, that's good.
Wait, that's actually such a smart idea.
That's really smart, yeah. If you can get past the, like, not the shame, but the fear of having someone else read your work out loud in front of you,
Right,
which
yeah.
I don't know if I can do, but yeah.
Do you ever have like I know some like softwares will read aloud to you. Have you ever done that?
I have, like, audio processing issues because of, ADHD, so I am not, like, an audiobook girly. I've never really tried that, but I might at some point because I feel like it's just a different activation. I'm seeing the story from a different lens, but I'd have to listen to it for, like, 2 minutes at a time at
Yeah.
most.
No, that's fair. Yeah, I feel
Mhm.
like especially when you get to the point where you've looked at the words so many times that they no longer look like words, I feel like
Mhm.
that might be helpful, you know?
Yeah.
Uh, okay. Well, great little chat. Should we do
Mhm.
one
Oh,
more?
I'm just gonna run real quick and get a snack.
I'm gonna
I
get
will be right back.
a Okay. Hi guys. I'll wait till she's back to run and get my drink so that the stream is not just dead, but I'll go through some of your comments. I have docs with lines, dialogue I've heard and tweaked. Together they're over 150 pages. I converted the first one to a PDF and put that on my Kindle. Wait, that's so smart. So is this just like dialogue that you've overheard from people just out and about? That's really smart. I really want to like looping back to the emotional thesaurus thing. I need to just like go through some books that I like and just jot down like tiny little bits of body language, I feel like, because I feel like that would be so helpful just to see what are some of the ways things are described. Hi. How's it going? I use computer voices in my writing software, read aloud on Writer Duet. There are free options too, like read through. Okay, interesting. I haven't even tried just like straight up reading it aloud to myself. I feel like that would be helpful. I used to do things like that with essays and projects, and I feel like it was really good. So, um, Very interesting. Okay, glad to see the love for the emotions thesaurus. I think I need to order it. Have you guys read any of the other? I know there's multiple books in that same sort of line. Like, isn't there like an urban locations thesaurus and all these other types of thesauruses? Have you guys tried any of those? Showing emotions while wanting them to feel it. I feel it is easier to act out that emotion, even if it's small things. I could see that, yeah. I feel like it's such a balance between the internal and external when you're writing a book because I feel like if either one is too prominent or too lacking, it really sticks out. Like I know I need to add in some more internal processing probably in my book. Um, Excited to have stumbled upon these sprints. I started working on my outline for my Mafia romance novel. That's so awesome. Well, I'm so happy you're here for the sprints. Welcome. Well-known science fiction is literally any Brandon Sanderson. I've been meaning to try out Brandon Sanderson. Does he have a masterclass? I think he has a masterclass. I think I need to get on masterclass at some point and try it out. I wonder if there's anything on Skillshare too from like authors. I'm curious. Yes, I have all of them. They're really good. I like them on ebook because you can just look through the table of contents and click on what you need. Oh, that's so smart. I don't have a Kindle yet, believe it or not. I feel like I'm going to need to get one though because I'm going to want to preview how my book is going to look on an e-reader when I eventually come to the self-publishing era. But yeah, I know it's hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I was just reading some comments while you were gone. Welcome
Oh
back.
yeah, no worries. Thank you. I'm gonna mute myself because I'll be chewing.
Okay, I'm going to grab a soda, but I'll put on the timer.
Okay, great.
Okay, how did that one go?
That
Status
was
report?
okay. How about you?
Okay, I'm on the
Mhm.
scene now where I literally just have brackets that say insert middle of scene.
Mm. Real, yeah.
Yep. But magic just got introduced, so that's fun.
Oh, nice.
hmm Still mostly like small changes, which is like always very nice to see. Nothing
Mhm.
crazy.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, yay! Just finished first round of edits. Congratulations.
Nice. Good
Exciting.
job.
Are you feeling in the groove with the revisions?
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like this chapter is going on forever. I think it's a little too long.
Mm.
Yeah, too much happens. But also, I tend to write very short chapters and I feel like they could stand to be longer.
Wait, me too. I feel like
Right?
I've noticed most of my chapters are only a couple pages. Like, I don't
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I have like a 3 or 4 page chapter and I don't know.
yeah. No, I feel the same way. But we are underwriters, so I guess that kind of tracks.
Yeah, right? Like a faster pace and just less stuff in our scenes and our chapters, and maybe we just need to fill them out a little more.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Roughly 400 words this time, but made it to the next chapter. Yay.
Yay.
Very exciting. You're drafting, correct, Alyssa? Question mark? Let me know. Yeah. Ah, I'm getting like very excited actually.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I feel like I'm discovering like um tiny little world building details that I want to work in, which is like
Mhm.
exciting.
Hell
Hoping
yeah.
hoping it won't feel as flat if I add in more like tiny little snippets of context and such.
Mhm.
Sort of. It's a second draft, but mostly rewriting.
Oh, okay, nice.
Nice. Did some research. Fun. Interesting. I'm hoping that I won't have any rewriting to do with this draft. I mean, I
Mhm.
know I have stuff to add, like entire scenes and chapters to add,
Mhm.
but I can't think of anything like major on a plot level that needs to change. Although maybe I'll get it in front of beta readers and all of that will go out the window. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god, the beta reader stage is so stressful for me sometimes, like, because I feel like I get so many conflicting opinions.
Oh, interesting.
It's yeah, and it's really hard to parse because I'm a people pleaser. So I'm like, okay, I'll just do whatever you say. But like sometimes, not that they're wrong, but maybe their instinct or guidance isn't like the right thing for that story. Or sometimes it directly contradicts with like another person who I respect just as much. So mm,
Oh
it's
God,
really tough.
that's so hard to navigate.
Yeah. So I've
I'm
pared it down. Like I just use like 3 or 4 people at this point.
yeah. I think I have 3 people in mind, including you. Hopefully, if you're still
Yes,
okay.
I wasn't gonna say because I didn't want to be presumptuous, but yes, of course.
Okay, love that. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to keep it to 3, and all of them are also writers. So I'm like, I feel like it'll be really valuable
Mhm.
critique, but I'm also a people pleaser. So I am going into it also with the mindset of like, oh, I'll just change whatever they say. Like it's
Mhm.
fine. But yeah, if things are conflicting, that's where I'll start to lose sanity a little bit. But
I know, right? I hope I don't conflict with anyone else, but I feel like I'm usually very light on my suggestions because
mm,
I just try to go with what I see as the author's vision, if that makes sense, versus what like I think is right. Because those
right.
are two very different things. And I think more people who beta read and critique need to um like approach stuff with that mindset.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
such a good insight. Um, I'm like just getting used to giving critique and stuff because obviously I did it back in school and all of that.
Hmm.
I have that experience, but I'm doing like my first beta reading right now. And it's been so interesting trying to like toe that line as well of like what would be maybe your personal choice versus what they're clearly trying to achieve or what you know fits their style, like all of that.
Hmm.
very interesting trying to navigate. But
Yeah. Yeah.
ooh, a question.
Oh.
How do you approach subtext when it comes to world building?
Like establishing world building details and like the world building itself without straight up telling it. I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
clarify the question a little bit. Um, I feel like that's probably what they're asking.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know.
Yeah. It's a good question.
I feel like
Either
it's it's really hard because I know people can sometimes see right through it if you do it through dialogue. So
Yeah, that's just a slightly roundabout way of telling. Usually for me it's like, well, I think about the way that I introduced my magic system, which I did for the first time in this way in mods, and now I'm probably going to try to do it like this every time, but it's to like see it in action. Like to have it have a role in what's going on in the scene or the conflict or the story as a whole. But I'm an underwriter, so my world building tends to be like kind of on the lighter side almost, where I do mostly just world build the stuff that has like function in the story and utility. So that might not work for everyone. Like you will never catch me making a conlang ever again. I will never do that again.
I'm dead. That's so funny. I feel like something that we see used a lot in books, right, is having a character that's new to the world or learning or whatever, so that we can kind of go along with them as they're learning. Like that's one of the easiest ways, I feel like. Like the little Harry Potter is what comes to mind of like, oh, he's new to this world, so we meet it with him. So I feel like that's a sort of surefire way, but I agree, like seeing it in action or like basically any context besides someone just explaining it at like a dinner table or like like anytime you can build action into the explanation, I think that's really helpful.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. How do you avoid world building info dumps and still create details that almost build themselves? Yeah. Okay, so it looks like we sort of understood what
Yeah.
asking.
And for the details that build themselves, I would start out like a wide, if that makes sense, like a macro, and then get more detail oriented as you get deeper into the story versus, I don't know, you can still like info dump a little. I've never had an issue with that. It's just when it's paragraphs or pages upon pages that it gets a little exhausting. Yeah.
I agree. I think sometimes it's just a matter of spreading it out too. Like I'll notice I'll go on a couple paragraphs tangent into aspects of the world, and it's like, no, maybe we could be peppering this in throughout the scene, like
Exactly.
in between action and dialogue. And it's very, I think it's a very natural rough draft instinct to just dump all at once, but that's like, go back and pepper out. But I agree, like I can find it frustrating when I'm reading and the author is clearly avoiding just blatantly stating a fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just say the fact. It's like not a big deal.
I agree. It's like sometimes clarity is actually incredibly valuable to reader experience.
Another thing is like building the intrigue, like maybe don't fully explain an element when you first introduce it, and then the reader's like, well, wait, I want to know how this works or what's going on. And then that way the info dumping is like, it's taken a little bit better.
Yeah, no, I agree. Anytime you can like hint or throw in like a little, almost like something maybe your character doesn't understand at the time, but then later you can tie into a world building thing you reveal. Like, for example, I have like a practice in my magic system that's like shadow walking. So like this, they can walk in and out of shadows kind of vibe.
Very cool.
And so like the first time she sees it, she just kind of notices, oh, it almost looks like he slipped out of nowhere, like slipped from the shadows, whatever. No explanation there. But then we learn about it a couple chapters later. So it's like a little bit of a payoff moment. So I feel like little things like that. If you can get evidence of it earlier on, that it doesn't feel so random.
That's a great example. I love that. Like to see someone else use it and be like, oh, like what is that? And the main character also wants to know, so it makes the reader want to know. That's really good.
Yay. Love that. Okay, amazing. Well, thank you guys all so much for joining us on this stream. I had so much fun.
I know, me too.
And thank you to Lynn for coming on. If you guys have not seen her craft videos, I'm going to direct you there right now because I've learned so much actually from watching Lynn's videos.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Of course, of course. Yeah, and I hope you guys all have good weeks and good writing progress.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining, and thank you for having me. That was really fun.
Of course, honored. Bye, guys.
Bye.